the new god of death, the new gods of death, the new god of death, the new goddess of death, the new goddesses of death, the new goddess of death, the old god of death, the old gods of death, the old god of death, the old goddess of death, the old goddesses of death, the old goddess of death, the greater god of death, the greater gods of death, the greater god of death, the greater goddess of death, the greater goddesses of death, the greater goddess of death, the lesser god of death, the lesser gods of death, the lesser god of death, the lesser goddess of death, the lesser goddesses of death, the lesser goddess of death, the higher god of death, the higher gods of death, the higher god of death, the higher goddess of death, the higher goddesses of death, the higher goddess of death, the lower god of death, the lower gods of death, the lower god of death, the lower goddess of death, the lower goddesses of death, the lower goddess of death, the greater spirit of death, the greater spirits of death, the greater spirit of death, the lesser spirit of death, the lesser spirits of death, the lesser spirit of death, the higher spirit of death, the higher spirits of death, the higher spirit of death, the lower spirit of death, the lower spirits of death, the lower spirit of death, the major god of death, the major gods of death, the major god of death, the major goddess of death, the major goddesses of death, the major goddess of death, the minor god of death, the minor gods of death, the minor god of death, the minor goddess of death, the minor goddesses of death, the minor goddess of death, the superior god of death, the superior gods of death, the superior god of death, the superior goddess of death, the superior goddesses of death, the superior goddess of death, the inferior god of death, the inferior gods of death, the inferior god of death, the inferior goddess of death, the inferior goddesses of death, the inferior goddess of death, the ancestor god of death, the ancestor gods of death, the ancestor god of death, the ancestor goddess of death, the ancestor goddesses of death, the ancestor goddess of death, the ascendant god of death, the ascendant gods of death, the ascendant god of death, the ascendant goddess of death, the ascendant goddesses of death, the ascendant goddess of death, the descendant god of death, the descendant gods of death, the descendant god of death, the descendant goddess of death, the descendant goddesses of death, the descendant goddess of death, the transcendent god of death, the transcendent gods of death, the transcendent god of death, the transcendent goddess of death, the transcendent goddesses of death, the transcendent goddess of death, the past god of death, the past gods of death, the past god of death, the past goddess of death, the past goddesses of death, the past goddess of death, the present god of death, the present gods of death, the present god of death, the present goddess of death, the present goddesses of death, the present goddess of death, the future god of death, the future gods of death, the future god of death, the future goddess of death, the future goddesses of death, the future goddess of death, the authentic god of death, the authentic gods of death, the authentic god of death, the authentic goddess of death, the authentic goddesses of death, the authentic goddess of death, the synthetic god of death, the synthetic gods of death, the synthetic god of death, the synthetic goddess of death, the synthetic goddesses of death, the synthetic goddess of death, the progressive god of death, the progressive gods of death, the progressive god of death, the progressive goddess of death, the progressive goddesses of death, the progressive goddess of death, the regressive god of death, the regressive gods of death, the regressive god of death, the regressive goddess of death, the regressive goddesses of death, the regressive goddess of death, the ordinary god of death, the ordinary gods of death, the ordinary god of death, the ordinary goddess of death, the ordinary goddesses of death, the ordinary goddess of death, the extraordinary god of death, the extraordinary gods of death, the extraordinary god of death, the extraordinary goddess of death, the extraordinary goddesses of death, the extraordinary goddess of death, the static god of death, the static gods of death, the static god of death, the static goddess of death, the static goddesses of death, the static goddess of death, the dynamic god of death, the dynamic gods of death, the dynamic god of death, the dynamic goddess of death, the dynamic goddesses of death, the dynamic goddess of death, the land god of death, the land gods of death, the land god of death, the land goddess of death, the land goddesses of death, the land goddess of death, the sea god of death, the sea gods of death, the sea god of death, the sea goddess of death, the sea goddesses of death, the sea goddess of death, the sky god of death, the sky gods of death, the sky god of death, the sky goddess of death, the sky goddesses of death, the sky goddess of death, the god of death, the gods of death, the god of death, the goddess of death, the goddesses of death, the goddess of death, the half god of death, the half gods of death, the half god of death, the half goddess of death, the half goddesses of death, the half goddess of death, the vessel of death, the vessels of death, the vessel of death, the name of death, the names of death, the name of death, the person of death, the persons of death, the person of death, the persona of death, the personas of death, the persona of death, the personage of death, the personages of death, the personage of death, the personality of death, the personalities of death, the personality of death, the personification of death, the personifications of death, the personification of death, the image of death, the images of death, the image of death, the imagination of death, the imaginations of death, the imagination of death, the belief of death, the beliefs of death, the belief of death, the thought of death, the thoughts of death, the thought of death, the word of death, the words of death, the word of death, the action of death, the actions of death, the action of death, the reaction of death, the reactions of death, the reaction of death, the feeling of death, the feelings of death, the feeling of death, the situation of death, the situations of death, the situation of death, the circumstance of death, the circumstances of death, the circumstance of death, the environment of death, the environments of death, the environment of death, the relationship of death, the relationships of death, the relationship of death, the number of death, the numbers of death, the number of death, the formula of death, the formulas of death, the formula of death, the equation of death, the equations of death, the equation of death, the theory of death, the theories of death, the theory of death, the symbol of death, the symbols of death, the symbol of death, the color of death, the colors of death, the color of death, the thing of death, the things of death, the thing of death, the way of death, the ways of death, the way of death, the place of death, the places of death, the place of death, the time of death, the times of death, the time of death, the event of death, the events of death, the event of death, the result of death, the results of death, the result of death, the crown of death, the crowns of death, the crown of death, the throne of death, the thrones of death, the throne of death, the death king, the death kings, the death kingdom, the death kingdoms, the death king's subject, the death king's subjects, the death king's dominion, the death king's dominions, the kingdom of death, the kingdoms of death, the kingdom of death, the death queen, the death queens, the death queendom, the death queendoms, the death queen's subject, the death queen's subjects, the death queen's dominion, the death queen's dominions, the queendom of death, the queendoms of death, the queendom of death, the death prince, the death princes, the death princedom, the death princedoms, the death prince's subject, the death prince's subjects, the death prince's dominion, the death prince's dominions, the princedom of death, the princedoms of death, the princedom of death, the death princess, the death princesses, the death princessdom, the death princessdoms, the death princess's subject, the death princess's subjects, the death princess's dominion, the death princess's dominions, the princessdom of death, the princessdoms of death, the princessdom of death, the lord of death, the lords of death, the lord of death, the lordess of death, the lordesses of death, the lordess of death, the priest of death, the priests of death, the priest of death, the priestess of death, the priestesses of death, the priestess of death, the ritual of death, the rituals of death, the ritual of death, the shrine of death, the shrines of death, the shrine of death, the temple of death, the temples of death, the temple of death, the leader of death, the leaders of death, the leader of death, the follower of death, the followers of death, the follower of death, the natural substance of death, the natural substances of death, the natural substance of death, the supernatural substance of death, the supernatural substances of death, the supernatural substance of death, the temporal substance of death, the temporal substances of death, the temporal substance of death, the spiritual substance of death, the spiritual substances of death, the spiritual substance of death, the natural form of death, the natural forms of death, the natural form of death, the supernatural form of death, the supernatural forms of death, the supernatural form of death, the temporal form of death, the temporal forms of death, the temporal form of death, the spiritual form of death, the spiritual forms of death, the spiritual form of death, the age of death, the ages of death, the age of death, the era of death, the eras of death, the era of death, the awakener of death, the awakeners of death, the awakener of death, the awakening of death, the awakenings of death, the awakening of death, the realm of death, the realms of death, the realm of death, the dimension of death, the dimensions of death, the dimension of death, the zone of death, the zones of death, the zone of death, the frequency of death, the frequencies of death, the frequency of death, the century of death, the centuries of death, the century of death, the millennium of death, the millenniums of death, the millennium of death, the purpose of death, the purposes of death, the purpose of death, the meaning of death, the meanings of death, the meaning of death, the culture of death, the cultures of death, the culture of death, the demonstrator of death, the demonstrators of death, the demonstrator of death, the demonstration of death, the demonstrations of death, the demonstration of death, the manifester of death, the manifestors of death, the manifester of death, the manifestation of death, the manifestations of death, the manifestation of death, the presence of death, the presences of death, the presence of death, the glow of death, the glows of death, the glow of death, the goal of death, the goals of death, the goal of death, the plan of death, the plans of death, the plan of death, the book of death, the books of death, the book of death, the philosopher of death, the philosophers of death, the philosopher of death, the philosophy of death, the philosophies of death, the philosophy of death, the releaser of death, the releasers of death, the releaser of death, the release of death, the releases of death, the release of death, the variable of death, the variables of death, the variable of death, the cause of death, the causes of death, the cause of death, the effect of death, the effects of death, the effect of death, the journey of death, the journeys of death, the journey of death, the emergence of death, the emergences of death, the emergence of death, the source of death, the sources of death, the source of death, the originator of death, the originators of death, the originator of death, the origin of death, the origins of death, the origin of death, the forefather of death, the forefathers of death, the forefather of death, the foremother of death, the foremothers of death, the foremother of death, the ancestor of death, the ancestors of death, the ancestor of death, the descendant of death, the descendants of death, the descendant of death, the lineage of death, the lineages of death, the lineage of death, the heritage of death, the heritages of death, the heritage of death, the heir of death, the heirs of death, the heir of death, the co-heir of death, the co-heirs of death, the co-heir of death, the joint heir of death, the joint heirs of death, the joint heir of death, the dynasty of death, the dynasties of death, the dynasty of death, the force of death, the forces of death, the force of death, the law of death, the laws of death, the law of death, the pact of death, the pacts of death, the pact of death, the game of death, the games of death, the game of death, the mask of death, the masks of death, the mask of death, the armor of death, the armors of death, the armor of death, the sword of death, the swords of death, the sword of death, the shield of death, the shields of death, the shield of death, the force shield of death, the force shields of death, the force shield of death, the armored force shield of death, the armored force shields of death, the armored force shield of death, the champion of death, the champions of death, the champion of death, the guardian of death, the guardians of death, the guardian of death, the defender of death, the defenders of death, the defender of death, the protector of death, the protectors of death, the protector of death, the chant of death, the chants of death, the chant of death, the shape of death, the shapes of death, the shape of death, the cube of death, the cubes of death, the cube of death, the cuboid of death, the cuboids of death, the cuboid of death, the sphere of death, the spheres of death, the sphere of death, the spheroid of death, the spheroids of death, the spheroid of death, the prism of death, the prisms of death, the prism of death, the pyramid of death, the pyramids of death, the pyramid of death, the cylinder of death, the cylinders of death, the cylinder of death, the cone of death, the cones of death, the cone of death, the triangle of death, the triangles of death, the triangle of death, the circle of death, the circles of death, the circle of death, the semicircle of death, the semicircles of death, the semicircle of death, the square of death, the squares of death, the square of death, the rectangle of death, the rectangles of death, the rectangle of death, the parallelogram of death, the parallelograms of death, the parallelogram of death, the rhombus of death, the rhombuses of death, the rhombus of death, the trapezoid of death, the trapezoids of death, the trapezoid of death, the polygon of death, the polygons of death, the polygon of death, the pentagon of death, the pentagons of death, the pentagon of death, the hexagon of death, the hexagons of death, the hexagon of death, the septagon of death, the septagons of death, the septagon of death, the octagon of death, the octagons of death, the octagon of death, the nonagon of death, the nonagons of death, the nonagon of death, the decagon of death, the decagons of death, the decagon of death, the evolution of death, the evolutions of death, the evolution of death, the revolution of death, the revolutions of death, the revolution of death, the elemental art of death, the elemental arts of death, the elemental art of death, the elemental science of death, the elemental sciences of death, the elemental science of death, the elemental principle of death, the elemental principles of death, the elemental principle of death, the elemental technology of death, the elemental technologies of death, the elemental technology of death, the low elemental art of death, the low elemental arts of death, the low elemental art of death, the low elemental science of death, the low elemental sciences of death, the low elemental science of death, the low elemental principle of death, the low elemental principles of death, the low elemental principle of death, the low elemental technology of death, the low elemental technologies of death, the low elemental technology of death, the high elemental art of death, the high elemental arts of death, the high elemental art of death, the high elemental science of death, the high elemental sciences of death, the high elemental science of death, the high elemental principle of death, the high elemental principles of death, the high elemental principle of death, the high elemental technology of death, the high elemental technologies of death, the high elemental technology of death, the agent of death, the agents of death, the agent of death, the agency of death, the agencies of death, the agency of death, the amplifier of death, the amplifiers of death, the amplifier of death, the amplification of death, the amplifications of death, the amplification of death, the enhancer of death, the enhancers of death, the enhancer of death, the enhancement of death, the enhancements of death, the enhancement of death, the magnifier of death, the magnifiers of death, the magnifier of death, the magnification of death, the magnifications of death, the magnification of death, the influencer of death, the influencers of death, the influencer of death, the influence of death, the influences of death, the influence of death, the emanator of death, the emanators of death, the emanator of death, the emanation of death, the emanations of death, the emanation of death, the converger of death, the convergers of death, the converger of death, the convergence of death, the convergences of death, the convergence of death, the aura of death, the auras of death, the aura of death, the impression of death, the impressions of death, the impression of death, the intelligence of death, the intelligences of death, the intelligence of death, the sophistication of death, the sophistications of death, the sophistication of death, the genius of death, the geniuses of death, the genius of death, the polymath of death, the polymaths of death, the polymath of death, the psychic of death, the psychics of death, the psychic of death, the knowledge of death, the knowledges of death, the knowledge of death, the understanding of death, the understandings of death, the understanding of death, the wisdom of death, the wisdoms of death, the wisdom of death, the secret of death, the secrets of death, the secret of death, the mystery of death, the mysteries of death, the mystery of death, the revelation of death, the revelations of death, the revelation of death, the tactic of death, the tactics of death, the tactic of death, the strategy of death, the strategies of death, the strategy of death, the strength of death, the strengths of death, the strength of death, the might of death, the mights of death, the might of death, the power of death, the powers of death, the power of death, the authority of death, the authorities of death, the authority of death, the dominion of death, the dominions of death, the dominion of death, the rhythm of death, the rhythms of death, the rhythm of death, the melody of death, the melodies of death, the melody of death, the music of death, the musics of death, the music of death, the lyric of death, the lyrics of death, the lyric of death, the song of death, the songs of death, the song of death, the dance of death, the dances of death, the dance of death, the spirit of death, the spirits of death, the spirit of death, the soul of death, the souls of death, the soul of death, the body of death, the bodies of death, the body of death, the mark of death, the marks of death, the mark of death, the promise of death, the promises of death, the promise of death, the visionary of death, the visionaries of death, the visionary of death, the vision of death, the visions of death, the vision of death, the picture of death, the pictures of death, the picture of death, the sound of death, the sounds of death, the sound of death, the dung of death, the dungs of death, the dung of death, the language of death, the languages of death, the language of death, the communication of death, the communications of death, the communication of death, the people of death, the peoples of death, the people of death, the society of death, the societies of death, the society of death, the fortress of death, the fortresses of death, the fortress of death, the government of death, the governments of death, the government of death, the city of death, the cities of death, the city of death, the nation of death, the nations of death, the nation of death, the civilization of death, the civilizations of death, the civilization of death, the world of death, the worlds of death, the world of death,